All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to this Cole cast presentation. I am your casting host, Beef, and joining me today we do have PabloMcDad. We're bringing you coverage of HoN Tour Cycle number 3 for season number 2. Pablo, we're already in cycle 3. Time flies.
Yeah, it does. I've missed so much, it feels like.
Yeah, you have been out of the scene a little bit after your time with Pencils has come to a close, but you were in there for Team USA a little bit, but right now going to be doing some casting, some top tier teams right now. We got Afraid, also known as the Diesel Electric Locomotives, taking on Justice League, two teams that probably found themselves between like 8 and 12 last season, and two that are probably in that closer to like 8 to 6 range this time.
Yeah, both the teams has been scrimming a lot, practicing, and the Legion team is just freshly made, so it's gonna be fun to see how they take on the DCX team.
Yeah, and let's touch on that real quick. The team that you see over here on the left side, Afraid, formerly known as Diesel Electric Locomotives, a name change from that, but there's not a whole lot of resemblance here. You had Yolam that was playing on this team previously, and now you've got Fabelli, Fabunco. You got Panny there that's a holdover. Tankafet. I'm not sure who Dodo is. I think that might actually be Yolam, though.
I think so too. Looking at the shout outs and the chat.
That
So
certainly seems like it could be.
yeah.
I don't know what's going on there. Pablo, let's talk about the game that is going on, though. Way up top, we got the bands going out. We got Scout, War Beast, as well as Lodestone and Ophelia being banned out. So, three of your very, very strong suicides there, plus your Ophelia being banned out.
Yeah, I mean, I like the Scout ban because Scout is the worst suicide hero right now. It does so much for your team. I mean, you block a lot of camps for the enemy junglers, you kill the courier all the time, and you can gank mid, and you can get easy XP. So it's a great suicide hero. Same with the Lodestone, it's insane. The amount of damage you pull out on level 6 is just crazy. So I like the bans.
Yeah, well done there by both of these captains. But moving in first to overall pick was, in fact, an engineer for Belly. Really, really valuing that hero. Of course, with the team fight presence as well as the extremely strong lanes and a pebble still on the board. You don't want to let the opposing team get that combination. But engineer is the kind of hero that does synergize well with pretty much anything in a lane.
Yeah, I mean, engineer has two great spells that synergizes with other heroes that has a stun, which is easy to land. So you want to ban out all the strength initiators here because the dual lanes are going to get an advantage having engineer. Although you have Nymphora, which isn't the best laner, but it's gives mana to the like now the Pebbles is going to be a really good lane too. So
Yeah,
we'll see.
like you said, it's not considered the best laner. The setup stuns between Pebbles and Nymphora may be a little bit less easy than, say, something like a Fade would be, or maybe something like I don't know, an Aluna, Glacius, a Pyromancer. Just something a little bit stronger in terms of the stuns, but we'll see. They should be able to manage this one. Tempest and MOA were the second and third picks for the Legion team, so not going for that melee initiator right away. And which ones do make it through the banning stage? The ones that were banned out, we got Fade, and Rally that were being banned, along with Flux and Wretched Hag, Luna, and Predator. And there's still some pretty good ones on the board. Magnus is there. You got Meraxis still available. Wouldn't be too surprised to see either one of those picked up.
No, I think so too. I think they should pick one of those up. I'm a bit interested about the
Deadwood.
Flux ban though. Yeah, maybe Deadwood too.
Yeah.
I mean, Deadwood isn't normally seen as a dual laner that much because he's one of those heroes you just want solo XP on for the ultimate. But we'll see. It works. I mean, doesn't really synergize very well with Engineer having like minus armor
Yeah.
versus magic damage. But still, we'll see who they choose to pick up.
Yeah, they got some options. That's for dang sure. You could even do something like a Devourer or a Prisoner, but it will be Deadwood right now. So now it's going to be interesting to see if this is going to be played in that dual lane or if you might instead opt to go for an Engineer Master of Arms dual lane mid, throw Deadwood with some stacked region into the solo short lane. So lots of options over there for Afraid. Concerning that Flux ban that you had brought up, though, coming out from Imbaboy, it looks like he just wanted to protect himself against the deadly Flux NG combination.
Well, that's true. I mean, when Flux came out, I was one of the advocates of picking Flux every single game with another AoE ultimate just to synergize because I love it, and I used to play Flux Suicide for pencils time to time.
That's
I love
great.
the hero, but we normally don't see it picked up ever. But I guess it's a good safety ban
Yeah,
for the Engineer Tempest.
by no means any much of a common pick there, but you throw the Engineer Tempest Flux combination together, and you're gonna get some big elemental voids. Riser showed a few days ago though he doesn't need a Flux to actually pull everybody in. He just gets 5-man holes like no problem. Oh, that
Yep,
guy's crazy.
insane player.
Way
Yeah,
better of a
he's
Tempest than Pablo.
no way. Have you seen my Tempest?
Yeah, I've seen you fail.
Well, I was hungover in a TMM game. That doesn't count.
Please, Pablo. You're always hungover in a TMM game. Andromeda going to be the fourth pick here for the Hellborn team. So, going to be going for a tri-lane of some kind, most likely, unless they're going to be going for a Suicide Keeper of the Forest, throw Andromeda short along with a ranged carry. That could be a possibility. I mean, you got something like Corrupted Disciple that's still on the board. So, we'll have to check in on that one. How do you like that Andro pick, Pablo?
Mm, I like it because it's a good roamer. I'm not sure if an Amphora Andro combination with roaming is very good though. I just want to see what other pick they're gonna take because I mean, yeah, I'm not
Man.
sure about the pick.
Yeah, we'll have to see. I mean, that Corrupted Disciple, I'm kind of leaning toward that. Um, with that, there would be a relatively passive lineup, and I'm a little bit afraid about their ability to deal with the aggression, especially with that last pick Bubbles that's going to be played by Fabelli here. Uh, this is an extremely aggressive team from Afraid, and without something that's going to be able to meet that aggression at say the 12 to 20 minute mark, I'm a little bit worried here for Justice League, and I don't know that they're going to be able to pick anything up to really combat that. That's then going to give them late game presence. Will be that Corrupted Disciple as a nice synchronized ready came out of the Legion team. But once again, I'm now a little bit worried about dealing with and deflecting the aggression here from the Legion team.
Yeah, what's important now, I think, for Corrupted is to get a Energizer and a Shrunken Head as fast as possible so he can stay in the fights and just power down the armor of the enemy team together with Andromeda. And thinking of the Andromeda pick, I like it when they pick Corrupted because you have the double minus aura, minus armor, and you
Sure.
have the swap for Temple, and yeah.
Well, that's
So
very true.
it's good.
The Andromeda pick is going to be nice, of course, with that swap, being able to get players out of the Tempest Elemental Void, or even being able to actually swap Tempest himself to get the cancel on that one. Command for command, unbelievable. Um, but I don't know. I'm a little bit worried. You pick this Nymphora pick, and then the only thing that you're gonna actually have to synergize with the Nymphora pick is gonna be the Pebbles. You don't have
Yeah.
anything else that you're gonna be able to teleport around. No Magnus or Fade, anything along those lines. And I'm just a little bit worried. I think that the laning situation is gonna be kind of awkward as well. But here we go. The Legion team trying to defend up their own jungle. Panny already getting one ward of sight down. Looks like the animated trees are going to go in first. The Legion team are in a position where they want a fight. Animated trees are going to despawn. Here comes Corrupted Disciple and Pebbles in the front lines. Engineer is there. Not going to throw out a keg, at least just yet. There's Stalagmite's going to whiff. There's the first stun onto the Corrupted Disciple, but no follow-up coming in. Nymphora is able to get a ward down. Drops two, in fact. And the Legion team not going to be able to pursue. Or are they? Charge shot, and there's... Oh my gosh. The Rotten Grass comes in. The final auto tanks are going to be enough to finish off Tilla. I got to say, that charge shot with the keg was gorgeous.
That was beautiful played. I'm not really sure about Nymphora placing both their ward of sight right next to each other just to block camps and then like stopping from running.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So they could catch up. Was a bit odd, but it was a good play. I was hoping for a bit more action with 5 versus 5 in the jungle, but
Yeah,
First blood coming out.
teams get kind of scared. They get in there and they're like, "Yeah, guys, let's do this, let's do this," and they see the enemy and they're like, maybe we should just get to lane. I think we probably don't want to miss any experience here, right, guys?
Yeah.
But Tempest quickly going to learn here that 4 block camps are blocked. But Andrew in some trouble. Beautiful keg coming out of Panny. No body block going to happen. Panny's just going to get a couple shots. Andrew going to be at about 2/3 life before she's all right. Top lane, though. Bubbles in trouble. Shell surf away and will get out of there. Potion going to be used and does have plenty of regen. So, in the end, not the biggest of deals. Man, Pebbles has already used both of his stuns up in this top lane, though, Pablo.
Yeah. Amphora should try to get a level 2 as soon as possible so they can keep Bubbles out of the lane. Because Bubbles had the first blood, so he already has boots. So they're gonna need to use mana to keep him away.
Oh, that's true. That's something that Insania always likes to talk about. What you do with the first blood money. Whether you're going to upgrade a courier, buy some extra wards, go for an early bottle, or in this case, get some boots on your suicide. Look at how much pressure this is allowing Bubbles to apply to Nymphora. This is absolutely insane.
Because of the first blood.
100%.
It is. Getting first blood as a suicide player is like one of the best feelings ever, because you know you're gonna have a good game and you're gonna perform so much better. You can trade so much now with Nymphora and just stay in XP range.
Yep, Nymph is completely out of regen. So at this point, the Hellborn team's either going to have to get a kill, or Nymphora is going to be in a lot of trouble. And
yeah,
I don't know about this.
And Nymphora isn't really the strongest person to keep you out of the lane. So
now, with that being said, Bubbles is getting really, really low. If Pebbles gets a stalagmite right here, this Bubbles will likely die. And there's the stalagmites. Nymphora way out of position, though. Gonna wait for the cutoff, perhaps. No, get spotted up by the archer. So a lot of back and forth in the top lane. In middle, Corrupted Disciple is going hard a little bit, but how about this? A CD Andro lane versus Master NG. Bubbles going hard. Does get it from the top lane. Fabelli's having a good time.
Awkward. It was really awkward. They met in the jungle, and then he surfed up and like ported to the surf, and Nymphora stunned in front of him instead of stunning Bubbles.
Oh, middle lane, Andromeda in trouble. Turns around with a Comet stun. Looks like this could be a 1-for-1. Master of Arms is going to go down, and Engineer gets a kill on Andromeda. But now Corrupted Disciple going hard. He's looking for a second kill. Ked comes in, but it's not enough. Corrupted Disciple with the double tap. Middle lane. That's the power of the conduit, and this kind of awkward lane that I was talking about seems to have a decent amount of success when they get the stuns off.
Yeah, having corrupted middle in a dual lane is kind of odd. Oh, what?
Master of Arms canceled his port. He was trying to port to middle lane and canceled it.
Oh, wow.
Sad days.
Sad days. That's also one of the worst feelings.
It is. It is actually a terrible feeling. Like, it is the inverse of getting the first blood in long lane. I don't know, man. It's the worst. Like, especially right after they changed the TP times. I was doing that so frequently.
Yeah. I've learned to shift Q now, though.
Yeah.
Finally.
I mean, I was shift queuing, and then I'd stop and do something because I thought I would be there already. I'm just like, I mean, you play one way for like 3 years.
Yeah. It's hard.
It certainly is. You know what's not hard, though, is this long lane for Fabelli. One of the best suicide players in the business. Has been relatively inactive lately, but he's showing that it's like riding a bike, man.
Yeah, he always plays a bit manly. He plays very offensive, so he often plays very well. So I think what he does is great. Unlike myself, who plays it very passively.
Oh no, Pablo! You just got to show him the power of the long lane engineer. Right?
We'll get there one day.
Right?
Competitive engineer.
I mean, it's just so hard to not put him into the support position because he's so good at that. Like, if he wasn't that good at support, maybe we would see more long lane engineer. I don't know. Well, right now, as wards are starting to expire here in the jungle. Tempest is starting to get his farm up a little bit more, and maybe we'll see some rotation coming out relatively soon. As middle lane Corrupted Disciple going to take some damage from Charge Shot and a keg, but the Legion team is very, very hesitant to actually follow this up.
Yeah, I mean, Corrupt is level 6 now, so they're gonna have a hard time killing him. And every time they can't kill him and they go all in, they're gonna die. So I think they have to play a bit passive. Try to get as much farm as they can.
It certainly would seem that way. Now, in the battle of the trees down in the bottom lane, Deadwood actually doing a little bit better here. 36 and 28 as opposed to the 15 and 3 as Bubbles goes down to the top lane. I'm sorry I missed that one, guys. Looks like it was simply a matter of Pebbles getting over there, and then of course Amphora and Andromeda that were able to set that one up. So, well played.
Yeah, Pebbles wasn't really in the kill even. It was Andromeda and Amphora on their own.
Yeah, it looks like he just got an experience range for it.
Yeah, so that was good play by DCX.
Always nice to get that kill on the Bubbles. But I mentioned Deadwood doing a little bit better in the bottom lane. He's actually crushing. I needed to revise that statement. He's absolutely crushing in this lane. 350 GPM as opposed to 175.
He has 32 denies.
Uh-oh, Andromeda gonna get elements avoided here. 4 players gonna be joining in on the action for a level 3 Andromeda? 4 Andromeda, excuse me.
Yeah, that's good though. Like, yeah, I think it's like Tempest players normally don't use their ulti that often unless they're pushing and you just throw it out in a team fight. So getting kills before you start pushing is great. I mean, you're gonna have the cooldown soon anyway. You can farm until you get it. So.
Oh, Kelfield going down in the middle lane. TP is coming in. Corrupted Disciple activating the conduit, but he is going to not go down. Survives. He gets the counter kill onto Bubbles. Engineer gonna survive with one more auto attack left. That was a gigantic man up coming in from Amberboy.
Yeah, that was huge. I think that Bubbles could have traded his life if he didn't to cover right at that moment. He was trying to make the big play and it didn't really work, but huge man up from Amberboy.
That certainly pays off. He's up to about 300 gold per minute now. You talked about him needing to get the Energizer and the Shrunken Head as soon as possible. He's got the Soul Scream Ring and a Pretender's Crown now for the Energizer. Going to be getting the full Steam Boots here pretty soon as well. Expect him to have Energizer Steam Boots by probably 10 minutes. It's going to be a pretty big clip. If he can get a Shrunken Head up by 20, and they're going to be in a pretty dang good position.
Yeah, I think they're doing great on the Hellborn team. I mean, Pebbles already has his Steam Boots in a bottle, and he's already saved up 700 gold, so he's going to have his Portal Key very soon. And looking at the Legion lineup, they have a few squishy heroes that he's going to be able to pick off.
Up top, Bubbles in trouble. The Seal's done in the chuck. Got to finish him off. So that's going to be the third death of the game now for Fabelli. We've been praising him a lot for his presence in lane, but he's died twice now in lane as well as once in the middle. Not exactly the amount of deaths that you want to have on a Bubbles at this point.
No, as I said, he tends to play very offensively, and sometimes it just doesn't pay out.
Yeah, going for the high risk, high reward situations. But that is going to get Pebbles a little bit closer to this portal key, and Deadwood's going to beat him most likely. Not by too much, but they are going to go for this tower. So Deadwood probably going to get a portal key unless he gets ganked here, which is a very real possibility. Keeper of the Forest going to be coming in from behind, has the root. Andromeda going to throw out an Aurora, and Amphora port coming in. Oh, Tempest in trouble. Deadwood needs to get the heck out of there. Rotten Craft's going to connect onto 3 plus some minions, but Tempest is down. The damage is done in the bottom lane.
Yeah, it was a great usage of Nymphora ultimate. They stop a tower push as well as get a kill, and now they can push on their own. So it was a great play.
Yeah, like I said, I was expecting Deadwood to go ahead and get that tower, maybe get a kill as well. But now Deadwood gonna have to activate Clear Cut and get out of the middle lane. Andromeda TP's in, only to be met with the stiff resistance of a keg. But both these teams, they're kind of just mirroring each other's actions, both trying to go for pushes, but the others being defensive rather than actually letting them drop and going for counter push.
Yeah, normally we see people trade towers or defend, but they just choose to defend. they don't want to let their towers go, and I like that decision because giving the other team a map advantage by not having their outer towers is going to open up a lot for the team that gets their PK first on their initiator.
Yeah, and that's really what Deadwood is looking for still. 200 gold to go for that portal key. And if he's able to get that portal key and then pick off Pebbles before he gets a PK, that is going to be absolutely gigantic. Pebbles needs to continue snowballing as Engineer level 5 in some trouble here. Corrupted Disciple now the one in trouble though. Glacial Blast as well as the Fork Lightning gonna finish him off right there. Now Keeper the Forest gonna get Elemental Voided. The auto attacks are coming in. Keeper, you got nowhere to run, buddy. He's gonna go down top lane. Pebbles gets a kill on a tower. So trading a little bit right there. But I'd say the Legion team with a couple kills and probably going to convert it into a tower middle lane gets the better end.
Yeah, that was a good tempo soul. Getting the Keeper, it was good play by the Legion side. I think they should be able to get the tower, and if they do, it's going to be really, really good for them. Deadwood picking up his portal key right now as well.
Yeah, just grab
as does
that
Pebble.
One. Oop, up go. Like you said, tit for tat here, and so 11.5 minutes in, both initiators have that portal key. Both are level 9, and now it's going to be about who is able to catch other players out of position. And with that being said, Corrupted Disciple did just get picked off there in the middle lane. Still just getting the Steam Boots Energizer not on the way just yet, and I expected him to have Steam Boots Energizer by, what did I say, I think 10 minutes in, and unfortunately... has just dropped off a little bit. Wasn't quite able to find the farm when he was defending towers. And then with that pickoff, definitely being set back. Does have the money for it now, though, at 12 minutes.
Yeah, although he's been dropping down a little bit, it gave them the top tower, and Pebbles got the free farm to get the portal key, which is a little bit more important right now.
Yeah.
So but he's still 350 GPM, so he's not that bad. But he's gonna hopefully go for the Shrunken now, so they can start team fighting.
Man, there's like a early defense line here in the middle lane as both teams have warded up the the river just very, very defensively. Both knowing that portal keys are a very real possibility, if not a certainty, on the opposing team's initiator, and they're simply looking to defend. I think this situation, the stalemate even, does favor the Hellborn team a little bit more, as the Legion are going to have to rely on creating some kind of pressure.
Yeah, I think so. I just have to point out, I like what Pebbles was doing top. He put down his portal key when he was farming the creep, so they wouldn't see him having it. So now Bubble is going to go farm, and
Bubbles
they get a
in
kill.
trouble.
Yeah, so that was a really, really good play.
Something you couldn't have done a few months ago. Back when you used to be able to see items on the ground, then you had to be worried that there's an invisible guy next to you going to kill your portal key. Where are those TPs going in? They're going to town. I think they're going to use the Nymph port here in just a second. Now, where is Nymphora going to go? This is, in fact, going to be into Legion jungle, and they're going to try to make a push out of this. Oh, never mind. They're going to find one here. Tempest is going to go down. Nice job with the Ward of Sight, being able to get the vision around the corner, and an easy kill. Now Corrupted Disciple in trouble, is going to get swapped out, as the root does get burnt right here. Engineer trying to survive, gets the energy field down with the defensive master's call. Pebbles comes in, helps get the kill onto that one though. And now it looks like Pebbles is going to get a couple more. Charge Shot is going to be able to finish off Nymphora. No! Going to survive with a power supply right here. Deadwood trying to get away. And he shall, at least for the time being. But Pebbles comes in, one more auto attack. Hat trick there for I Like Ducks playing the Pebbles. Wow, the Hellborn team taking a pretty big advantage with that fight. They might not be done yet. Master of Arms in a dangerous farming position. Pebbles going to look for one more, and portal key in. There's the Stalagmites. Himway just a little bit too tanky, so Pebbles says, get the heck out of here. You're free to go.
Yeah, that was a beautiful team fight from the Hellborn team. I mean, the swap saving CD's life, and then the Keeper armor coming out, invising Nymphora from the last hit from dying, so it was really well played.
Yeah, that swap, man. That was great. Corrupted Disciple living there, definitely a very big deal. He's got the Mighty Blade on the way now, and probably even a little bit more. Maybe something in the stash, I would think. As he's looking for that Shrunken Head. Like you mentioned, once he has that Shrunken Head, he's going to be in a pretty good position. And the Hellborn are in a good spot altogether. I was worried about that like 12 to 20 minute mark as being where the Legion would kind of make their nut in terms of getting the advantage, but so far they've failed to do that.
Yeah, Hellborn's had a really good, like keeping vision on the map and seeing where everything is, what's going on. So they're playing it really well. They know when they wanna, the Legion team wants to go and get ganked, so they're prepared and they counter gank, which is great.
Speaking of ganking, Nymph4 are going to be using the teleport not for a gank, but instead to gank a tower. I guess you could call it that.
Yep.
Can you gank a tower? If you cannot stun a tower, can you gank a tower?
I don't think so. I mean, you can sneak up on a tower, but
can you though? I mean, they're
know.
really tall. Like they should be able to see over trees. You know what? I think towers should give clear vision.
You do?
Yep.
Maybe.
I don't know. I mean, it wouldn't be super useful. But maybe like this bottom tier 2 would be kind of useful. I don't know. Either way, irrelevant right now as the Hellborn team is going to destroy this tower before its clear vision would come into effect. Already below half life in the Legion team with no inclination to go ahead and respond. They're going to instead try to counter push both the middle and top lanes. But I think Tempest could be in some trouble here as Pebbles is running the gank. And where's the TP support here to kill Tempest? Nothing just yet, so looks like it will just be a free tier 2 tower.
Yeah, I don't really like the decision of pushing both towers at the same time. I think they all should have gone for the mid tower because it was pretty low, and splitting up like reduces their damage. So now they got 0 towers. See if they can get a kill mid.
Oh, they're gonna try, aren't they? Deadwood gonna go in, but gets swapped immediately by Andromeda. Stalagmite's gonna be coming in. There's the Elemental Void being burnt. They will get the kill on Andromeda. This is the 3rd Elemental Void to get 1 player now. And it's kind of fine. Prior to this one, I think that this one was maybe a little bit questionable just because you now don't have that threat of Elemental Void for a full 200 seconds. And that means that you're not going to be able to defend towers, and you're not really going to have a potent push either.
No, exactly. I think the Hellborn team can push out tier 2 tower now because of no Elemental Void. I mean, they didn't use any cooldowns themselves except for Andro swap, which is up in 30 seconds. So
yeah,
they should definitely take advantage of that.
100% agree with you there, PabloMcDad. We'll see if the Justice League is going to be on the same page. By the way, who the heck is I Like Ducks? I know that Book had to step away from the team, but I'm not sure who this I Like Ducks player is.
I have no idea. Actually, I've never seen him before.
Well, I don't know.
Might be a...
Might have to talk to him. Pebbles gonna find Deadwood. One more auto. It's gonna be the Chuck instead. And I Like Ducks showing the power of the Mallard right there. Slaps him down with Pebbles.
Yeah, he's having a field day. 526 GPM.
Invisible Andromeda in the middle lane trying to scout things out. Now, does have to be careful, and actually does not. There's no Ward of Revelations down. Engineer does have a Dust, but not going to be randomly popping that one off. So Andromeda just providing the scouting information for her team to get in position and maybe set up another gank.
Yeah, I mean, Elemental Void is still down for 90 seconds, so I think they should try and take over the enemy jungle and just... because they can't really contest it on the Legion side right now. And just longer the distance on the gold.
They're going to get
sharp.
Tempest here. There's the Comet stun. Pebbles coming in. Defensive Master's call. Not going to help at all. Tempest hits the ground with like a ton of bricks and just absolutely drops. Now it's going to be up to Deadwood, MOA, and Bubble to try to defend the middle lane. Going to be using the Shell Surf as well as the Acid Bomb to clear out the creep wave. And they do have a very, very strong turtle in that sense. So pushing into this team is going to still be relatively hard without a pick. Even with a pick.
Yeah. They have a lot of counter push on the Legion side with turret from Engineer, Moagu, and Bubble Surf. So, I mean, it's going to be hard to push at them straight up. I think what they're doing now is great. They should just take the Kongor, use the token timer as a token of just taking over the game, the enemy map, to try and get the outer towers.
Token of win. The Hellborn team playing it cautious right now. Not exactly sure if there's any vision. There most certainly is, though. Panny getting a full scout on what's going on here. Now, another big item pickup, though. Pebbles just grabbed a shrunken head. I believe that Corrupted Disciple is going to have his here in 200 gold. And double shrunken heads at 21 minutes into the game. That's gigantic.
Yeah, because everything they have on Legion's side right now is magic damage, except for the Deadwood ultimate, and they have an Andro swap for that, so they can just keep being aggressive right now when they pick up the second Shrunken.
There's the Shrunken. And so, like you said, with the ability to now just waltz through magic, like the Kelp Field and the Energy Field, just gonna go ahead and continue having a field day. Tempest is in here scouting now with only red boots. He wouldn't be able to get away, but the Hellborn team not able to get in there and discover his whereabouts, at least just yet.
No goodies for you.
The Hellborn team, I mean, they're just kind of kicking back, knowing that there's no real timetable here for them. They probably do have the better late-game team, and they've certainly got the resource advantage. So I like that they're not choosing to force anything when they don't have a clear advantage.
Yeah, exactly. As I said, they should just take over like the enemy jungle and try and get the outer towers after pickoffs, which are gonna happen.
They're inevitable.
And for a Pebbles combo. Yeah, exactly. So they're doing good. Playing safe.
With that being said, Panny's doing a pretty decent job of actually keeping wards on the map that are going to be in relevant locations to try to keep his team alive. And so trying to combat the inevitable pickoffs as best as he can. But the Hellborn team now starting to group up in the middle lane. It's going to be 4 here already, with an M4 coming in from the top lane. Looks like this is going to be a tier 2 tower push.
Yeah. And
it's going to be an Ancient still first.
Yeah, I was just thinking a little bit. So if they take the Ancients now and try to keep like poking on Kongor, forcing a fight outside the towers, they should definitely win it. So I hope they do that after this. Because with the advantage they have right now, I don't think they can lose a fight. Unless they do big mistakes. Especially with 2 Shrunken.
Unless you get 5-man hold.
Exactly. I mean...
5-man holds just kind of change games. It's what they do.
But if we're down by this much, it feels like you have to have a portal key to do the 5-man hold.
It's true. And not really anywhere close to it. Opted for the steam boots instead. The Hellborn team dropping a deep ward behind the tower here, trying to get some kind of a pick. But instead, Tempest does get the tower here in the bottom lane, and gonna keep on going for right now. Needs to be kind of careful about the Pebbles TP though.
Yeah. I like the decision to split push. They shouldn't really defend.
Oh, Kelfield burnt in the top lane. Here's Deadwood in some trouble. Shrunken Head's going to be going off, but Deadwood is going to drop right here. Looks like Bubble's going to be the next one in line. The auto attack's going to be going out. The Courier even going down as Engineer. Does manage to push himself on out of there. Corrupted Disciple is going to drop, and Tempest getting in there. Elemental Void was canceled. Not really going to be doing too much. Bubbles goes in, but immediately stunned out. Gets the silence off, but it's not going to matter. The auto attacks are going to be enough. Fork Lightning not going to help either. Oh, chucks him backward in the auto attacks. Oh, nice power supply. Going to keep Master of Arms alive for now. There's the Andromeda swap. Good keg, and the tower is going to help out. Pebbles is not gonna drop, surviving at less than 10 HP. See you later, Master of Arms, as Andromeda completes the genocide for the team. Pebbles is like, please, please, no, 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 yes! Yes, I'm alive! I can hear it right now. Oh my god.
Yeah. And I can hear the Panny as well. Like, he got him, he would have gotten so many levels from that.
He actually would have probably gotten like 2 or 3 levels from that kill.
Yeah.
Oh, poor guy.
Yeah. Feel sorry for Pan right now, but they used the buyback, they lost the fight. Didn't kill that many, like, only got Pebbles at the end.
They got Corrupted Disciple and forced to buy back out of
Oh, Corrupted Disciple. Yeah, true. Missed that, I'm sorry. But yeah, as we said, the Shrunkens, they're doing work.
They certainly are.
Run out of all the spells.
We saw the energy field and the Kelp field go down, and Pebbles and Corrupted Disciple were like, I'm big and golden. I do not care about that. And they walked through and killed 2 people. And then Corrupted Disciple died as soon as his ran off. Which is less than fortunate. But.
Which also was huge, the toss onto Deadwood when he was gonna ult Corrupted the first time, when he was like 400 health.
Oh, I didn't catch that.
Well, he survived, and yeah.
Nice.
It was huge.
Very, very good. Yeah. Oh, that was when Deadwood blinked in. That was like the initiation.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Well played there by Pebbles then. Yeah, I wasn't quite sure what happened. I just saw Deadwood blink in and then not really doing anything and then die. And I'm like, interesting.
Well, that happened.
It's an interesting strategy, Pablo. Let's see if it pays out. Legion team gonna go ahead and call the vote to CC. So 26 minutes in, we do have a 1-0 advantage now for the Justice League. Team Afraid, they're gonna have to do something here to actually make things happen in camp number 2. But Pablo, what are they gonna need to correct? What's the course correction here if they want to take game number 2 and force a 3rd?
I think they need to focus more on their middle lane. They kind of feels like they half-assed it a bit. Sorry to put it that way, but it felt like they traded farm on their initiators with the PKs, but their mid lane was so much stronger from the Hellborn team, and they could take over the game. Yeah. They played pretty good though, so it was a good game, but D6 too strong in the end.
It's not often that we say a corrupted Andro lane mid was the stronger of the 2 lanes. I mean, against a Master of Harm's Engineer as well, it just kind of came down to, I don't even know what it came down to, better roaming? Not even. I think it was just the first overextension there in the middle lane by the Legion team that allowed Corrupted Disciple to turn that one around with a double tap.
Exactly. So. It cost them the mid lane.
And that mid lane may well have cost them the game. But ladies and gentlemen, we're going to see a chance for retribution here. As Afraid down 0-1. Going to have to take game number 2 and force a 3rd if they want to keep their winner's bracket hopes alive here in HoN Tour cycle number 3. But ladies and gents, we're going to go ahead and take a quick break, get the next game set up. This has been Pablo and Beef with Colcast coverage of HoN Tour cycle number 3. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.